Association Fantasy League podcast brought to you by University of Fantasy Basketball. I'm your host, Dr. Dane Andre, with our distinguished professor, Kilonomics, recording at 10:48 p.m. on a Saturday evening because we'd like to give y'all some stuff to talk about um, in our fantasy league. So, how you doing tonight,
I
bro?
am doing well, Professor Dr. Dane Andre. And we are officially in fall. We are officially in fall. The
Yeah,
leaves are turning, especially for folks in the Northeast. And,
yeah.
you're just getting just even more excitement, as we get closer to the start of the NBA season.
Yeah. Did you know preseason starting soon?
I know now. I know
Yeah.
now, so that's so
Yeah.
that's dope.
Yeah. I think like maybe in another week or so, I think. First week of October, I think preseason's getting started. So that should be interesting. I could be wrong about that, but I feel like it's coming up.
No, I mean that sounds about right because I know the open of the season is like the 21st, and I've been seeing traffic on social media with like the opening kind of media interviews and stuff. So, right, it sounds like camp is officially starting. Here's one
Hmm.
thing. Have you been tracking all the injuries that are happening like in the off season? Like I've never seen it like this. I mean, you've got some high profile players like missing substantial amount of time,
Yeah, I saw
with
Fred
off
Van
season.
Fleet. Yeah, I saw the Fred Van Fleet injury update recently. I also just saw something about Scoot, one of your guys. Yeah. I don't know how
Yeah.
serious that one is, but
I mean, left
sounds like
hamstring,
maybe.
man. That's his explosion.
Okay, yeah, that's not good. Um, yeah, definitely haven't been following that closely, but it's kind of scary to hear. I feel really badly about the Fred VanVleet one because it just felt like because he's done for the year, right? Like it was ACL.
It's the ACL injury. He was
Yeah,
already, showing some degradation right in his game. But I mean, the idea was, right, he could be the floor general, give him like 20, 25 minutes, be a
yeah,
mentor to Reed Shepherd, and
and I'm
that's
sure
pretty.
that's the big reason why KD getting there was, was I'm sure Katie was looking forward to playing with Fred VanVleet, that the way that team that performed last year and you add in Kevin Durant and I'm sure having another veteran out there to play with those young guys was going to be something that Kevin Durant was going to be looking forward to. So yeah, it's just unfortunate because now you look at it, you're like, well, if they don't go too far this year, you look at it as another missed opportunity for KD because of something crazy that happened to a player, or something. The situation just didn't work out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Do I feel bad for Houston? No, right? This is coming as a
Yeah.
Nets fan. Do I
Mhm.
feel bad for KD? No, because
More
man, he's
more Nets hate.
no, it's not Nets hate. I mean, it's just when you look at his career, like I'm just frustrated with the personality of KD. Like he's a person that I could never really like trust. I feel like if I was like if I knew him in real life, like he's probably like a cool person, but like having like a deep relationship, like me and him just would not click. And the main reason why is just like, I mean, I don't know if you remember like early on when LeBron was starting the whole forming super teams, right? Like KD was like pretty critical, right? And then you fast forward a couple years later and you're in a similar situation, right? Where you feel like, you know, you've reached the peak, right, of what you can do in your current situation, and you're doing something even worse than LeBron James, where you're like joining a team that was like championship
Already a championship
material,
team.
right? Like
Yeah,
it's
they're already
just
a championship team. Yeah.
right, and it's just unwilling to kind of take it on the chin, right? Like it's kind of like half-assing as far as like saying kind of on him, and he's kind of formed these like super teams in all these different places, and has kind of really never really been accountable. And so it's just like I don't know. I'm just good. Like KD is like a very good scorer, um, but I I think I think he could have done a lot more with his career, and I just have a tough time just thinking about like his like his like hallmark like series or game. Like typically with a lot of these like great players that win championships, like you think about like what was special about their run. But with KD, I mean, he had an opportunity with the Nets, like by far, like that, what he was doing, game 5 to game 7, right, of that Buck series that was like elite basketball.
Yeah.
But
I
outside of
mean,
that, I
he
mean,
has his moments, man. He has his moments in every series. Like you said, in Golden State, he's probably just overshadowed by the machine that is Steph Curry and what
right,
he's already got. And
like,
um, I mean, even in Oklahoma City, you know he's the leader there, but then you still have Russ,
hmm
who is a big personality and big part of their success. And he had a pretty good team, and obviously went to the finals and that with that team, but never got back there after they lost the Heat. Um, yeah, and then everywhere else, I mean, you're talking about Brooklyn, and then trying to duplicate something like that in the Phoenix was just that was never gonna
hmm
that's not the franchise you go to if you want to win a championship, I don't think. But um, he's in Houston now. I hope it works out for him. Either way, the guy's going to the Hall of Fame. He's had a Hall of Fame
Oh,
career. I mean,
yeah, Hall of
he
Fame, yeah,
doesn't.
that's
It
without
don't even
said.
matter. Yeah.
Where,
So
where, where would you rank KD? Just kind of thinking about where his resume is now, right? And he's probably got another 2, 3 years left. Where does he rank kind of in your all-time greats? We talking about top 10, top 15, top 20?
yeah, probably somewhere in top 15.
Hmm
Talent wise, he's obviously a top 10 talent, but in terms of like you said, having that career defining team stretch, you don't really see it there for him, but um he's a top 10 talent for sure. He's one of the most unique players we've seen in the game.
hmm
He's that guy. I mean, there's nothing bad you could say about his game, really. He does and can do anything, really on that court. So, and to think about what he's done after an Achilles injury is pretty crazy. Yeah, we'll see what happens with him. We'll see how long he can play too. But yeah, he's getting up there. He's getting up there. So
Yeah, and just like that, right? We're looking to the new generation, the new crop of stars, right? And kind of
yeah.
their what's gonna be their mark on the NBA.
Yeah, it's a great segue. We're here to talk about the 2025 uh NBA draft and more specifically in our context, the rookie draft for the association. So a lot of people have been waiting to see who they got, who they landed in the draft. So looking forward to uh revealing these picks, man, and hearing your thoughts. Um, can take a quick look at the draft board. So as you know, the Sunroofers, we really wanted to get Sunroofers in tonight to work with us and rap with us on this draft, but couldn't make it happen. But they've got the first pick, and I mean, I guess we don't have to belabor this too long. I mean, I think we know where this is going, right?
Yeah, I mean, Cooper Flag is going, top. 20 in just redraft dynasty leagues. I mean, that'll just, I mean, not even top 20, top 10. I mean, I've seen him top five in so many of the startup dynasty drafts. So, I mean, is he's kind of seen as like a foundational dynasty piece, and just a tier above. Like I've been seeing videos of him since he was in Maine, right, in the Northeast, and folks have been excited about him since then. He's just a hooper, you know. He's just a
Yeah,
hooper.
for sure, man. The pick was for sure gonna be Cooper Flag, and that's where we got. Let me ask you this. Do you see, are there any um well, before we talk about Cooper actually himself, well, tell me what you think about his fit with this particular franchise, the Sunroofers.
With the sunroofers, I mean, Cooper's one of those players. It's like you can put him on any NBA team, right? I mean, the Dallas is
Mhm.
kind of perfect, right? Because I feel like that was a franchise which unfortunately got hit with the injury bug, right? And so they just have a lot of talent around him, right? Like he doesn't have to be the main playmaker, especially once Kyrie Irving gets back. He's playing with Anthony Davis, right? Which is an all-time great, right? You're talking about a top 75 player.
Mhm.
And then if Lively brings it together, right, that's pretty good starting five, right? And then I mean, I'm not even throwing in, who their two guard could potentially be, like in, for example, Klay Thompson. But I just think that roster is like pretty deep. And he'll just be able to grow within it, definitely improve what already is a pretty good defense, right? And so I'm just very excited to see what that team looks like there. But to your question, right? How does the Chicago Sunroofers look? I mean, he's got John Morant, he's got LaMelo Ball, he's got Dyson Daniels, right? So the guards are looking pretty good. I mean, I didn't even get to Josh Giddey. And so Luca fits right in, right, to that forward slash. I'm guessing he's probably going to be center eligible player. And that's kind of where they're lacking, right? Zion's looking pretty good, right? This fall. So
Mhm.
there's some excitement around there. LeBron, I mean, he's probably not going to be around, or he's probably going to test free agency. So I mean, it's the perfect fit, right? Nikola Vucevic, who knows what's going to happen with him? And we already talked about injuries this summer, right? Jarrett McCain, he's unfortunately right out
Oh yeah, that's another
for
one.
right for some time. So I think this is a perfect. I mean, they just lucked into, really the perfect piece. Right, like he already fits on everyone's team.
Yeah,
He fits
yeah,
especially well
yeah.
on the needs of the Chicago Sunroofers.
Yeah, a couple guys you didn't even mention. Dyson Daniels is there,
Mhm.
Jalen Brown, Jimmy Butler. So it's probably it's a good chance Cooper won't start for this team, but with the when you look at the injury situation, the health issues they've had over yeah, I don't know, at least especially, I mean, before this owner even took control of the franchise, that's been
Mhm.
a constant struggle for this franchise, the health. So getting deeper, adding Cooper Flag, that's only going to uh, create some more stability for the franchise where, next man up. And it doesn't hurt that your next man up, one of them is Cooper Flag. So, um, I mean, can you really get an A plus pick for picking the obvious guy? Probably not, but you get an A anyway because
You didn't do
because you
anything
because you
stupid.
because you didn't mess up.
Yep. Yep.
All right.
Absolutely.
All right, cool. Let's move on then to the Sparrows. Another team that's got a really solid young core when you're looking at or when you're thinking about Sarah Thompson Alex Sarr, who was drafted last year, traded for Jalen Johnson over the offseason. Jalen Green is on this team. Brandon Miller, who was hurt last year and is looking to come back and play a major role in this team. Manuel Quickly is there. Then they've got some veterans. Anthony Davis is their best player. Mm, it's probably not a whole lot of mystery here either in terms of the pick, but is there anyone else you would consider here at number two?
Uh, I did actually. There
Okay.
was one draft where, I made a surprising pick of going VJ Edgecombe at number two, but that was only because I had the third pick, right? I just wanted to move the ADP of Harper. But
Hmm.
who are we kidding here, right? Like, uh, Harper is the pick. You pick anybody outside of Harper, you're gambling for no reason. I mean, he's just got all the tools. He's got the makeup. He's in a good organization. He's gonna be playing with Wemby. Like you
Hmm.
choose Harper 99 out of 100 times. Like he's shown no signs of any reason to deviate. Um, if you don't want to pick him, you gotta work the trade phones, right? Like you
Yeah.
really got to work the trade phones. But
Yeah.
Harper is the pick.
Harper is definitely the pick, and Syracuse Sparrows now welcomes Dylan Harper to the fold. Last year they finished the year with Rob Dillingham being one of their point guards. Terrence Shannon Jr., another nice young player that is on that roster, but they can't keep everyone, right? So Dylan Harper's coming in to take someone's spot. Uh, I think that guy might be Anthony Black, who's another young player, great defensive ability, but what's his role going to be on this team, do you think?
Yeah, I think he's more than likely slots into the starting spot. I mean, right, like a couple of the names that you mentioned quickly, Osar, Thompson, Jalen Green, right? That's three. Then Sar, that's four. Although he's suffering with his injuries, five. Anthony Davis, Brandon Miller, six. Jalen Johnson, seven. Right, and then he's got money for free agency. So I mean, he could be
Yeah.
kind of let's kind of see how it goes. Maybe if he's got a slow startup or he's not acclimated fully into
Hmm.
the Spurs lineup, we're not getting the minutes that's expected, right? Because the Spurs might be bringing him on slowly.
Yeah.
So this franchise can make him develop at his own speed. I mean, that's kind of the luck of the draw,
Yeah.
given how they've kind of stacked the roster with
Yeah.
pretty small salaries.
Yeah. Great position for them to be in. Yeah. So another A pick, or do you have something else to?
A
Mhm.
pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
We give it
just
an A. We
yeah,
give it an A.
I give it an A.
All right. Cool. All right. Well, let's move on to our next franchise. The newest kids on the block, Salt Lake City Soakers. Love the name.
Whole lot
Um,
going in there.
love the name. Um, we gotta get this manager on the pod, man. We want to hear about the team, the branding, and what's going on in Utah, man. I mean, he's I don't know if you know if uh that was picked because of his actual physical location, or maybe just a longtime Utah Jazz fan, or um
I think this was excitement on
on
foreshadowing who they were intending to pick.
Yeah,
Um,
that's probably true. That's probably true. And I actually he made no grievance to keep that pick a secret, right?
yep.
It was pretty out there, man. So that was that one was already revealed, and it was like, hey, if he's on the board, then we're going with Ace, and the pick was Ace Bailey. Um, probably not as big of a controversy there. When you look at the third pick, I think the decision. I think a lot of people had Ace as like their third ranked prospect in this draft. Maybe some people higher.
No, VJ.
VJ snuck in towards the end, towards like maybe combine around combine time, I think. But a lot of people had yeah, had Ace as like a top three guy for most of
Got
the
it.
year.
Got it. Got it.
So yeah. What do
Yeah, I was
you
talking. Yeah, I was talking. I was thinking fully
I like
after.
VJ. I think I probably if it was me, I probably would have went VJ. It sounds like you would have too, right?
Yeah, you got to go VJ primarily. But I mean, it depends on what sort of risk you want to take. Like VJ's steal rate and defensive numbers is like elite, like the best probably in the draft class.
Mm.
And that's one of the biggest things that's an indicator if a fantasy player or an NBA is gonna make a good transition from college. And I mean, he looked really good in um in summer league, and I just think he's just been looking, very good throughout the summer and the workouts, etc. There's just a lot to really like about VJ, but I can't knock the Ace Bailey, right? Like Ace Bailey was
Yeah.
playing with, I mean, I don't want to use the word bums, but he was playing with a lesser team, and it seemed like he was really focused on improving his game, not necessarily the players around him. I mean, you can see it by his assist rate. It was like a pedestrian, like 2 assists or something. But he was working on, you know, making difficult shots and and just better preparing himself for the NBA. And so that's the thing that I kind of hold on where like a lot of people don't like him, but there is a little bit of mystery and magic as far as like what his upside could be. Like I don't know if VJ's upside's as high as Ace is as far
Probably
as like
not.
stardom.
Yeah, probably not. Um, and so yeah, I mean, I like the fact that they went for kind of a home run kind of swing here.
Hmm.
Because VJ probably is what you say is a little bit more of a safe pick. You
Hmm.
kind of detailed his profile, but um, a guy who's like a 6'8" type wing and can score the way he does, is a crazy athlete, it looks like to me. It, with that kind of potential there, why not go for a guy who could potentially be a all-star type player? Whereas VJ, like, it could be a good solid starter for a long time. Maybe not a star, but um, you know, so is it the right pick? We'll see. I think it's gonna take him a while to kind of develop and become that kind of player. So we'll see how patient Salt Lake City is in this time. But did you notice they've got a couple of there's another Salt Lake City or Utah Jazz player on this franchise right now, Keontae George. He's one of their young guns. And as you know, this franchise has a lot of reworking to do, especially after the Tatum injury.
Hmm.
Pascal Siakam is on this team, but he's getting up there in kind of pricing. Rudy Gobert's on this team. Um, uh, Young guys, we're talking about Dalton Connect is on this team from last year. So you know, if you get rid of, Trey Young is their star, probably, right? They're probably their best player right now outside of Tatum. So you take Tatum out of this picture as going to be missing the year. Say Trey Young is their next best player. Would you agree?
Yeah, yeah, I agree. Yeah,
Yeah.
and Tatum's price is kind of I think I let him test free agency
Well, he's
if it's
140
me.
right now. He's 140 to keep, so that you
Yeah,
gotta look at that too. Brandon Ingram is on this team. He's reasonable
not to,
price. So he's gonna have a few players to build around. Ace, I don't know how much Ace is gonna factor in, and whether he can be a starter on in the association lineup right now. But um,
I think
it's a
he'll
it's
have
a
to be
good.
with this roster.
But they're gonna have money
That's fair.
if they kind of shuffle things around, right? So
That's a good
it
point.
could bring in some talent, and we'll see. But we'll lock him in right now and say he'd probably be a star.
I don't know. Johnny Davis might beat him out.
I'm gonna guess Johnny Davis is not gonna gonna make the cut this year, but we'll see. So what's your grade for this pick?
The grade. I mean, I like the ambition. I like the risk taking. I would give this pick an A minus. An A minus. I know that's probably surprising,
I like
but
it. I
but
like
I,
it.
I just in the scope of this roster, making a noise, right? Like
Hmm.
swinging for the fences, like it
Yeah,
could totally
building and
miss,
really, yeah,
but but
and you
we've been talking about, like, to your point, right, to the front, like we've been talking about Ace being a top two, three asset, right? All throughout, right? It wasn't
Mhm.
until kind of lately, like people been reducing his draft stock, and it might have been because he was trying to force himself to a certain team, right? Like, I don't know. There's like a lot of mystery as far as
Yeah, it's a
like
lot
why
of
all of a sudden his draft stock dropped, because it wasn't
yeah,
like his play or anything changed. They
right.
just choose to highlight it a different way.
Yeah, a lot of weird things happened in that draft, but yeah, Ace Bailey's the pick. So the guy we were we might have expected to see is still on the board, and I like this guy for our next team, Steve Blake Express. What do you think Steve Blake Express would or should do here?
It's VJ. He'll pick VJ. I mean, VJ's kind of got the dog defensive DNA, right? That's um a signature of Steve Blake Express. So I think it's a pretty easy pick. And it fits well into kind of their rebuilding kind of roster and their young core.
Agreed. Yeah. Ahmed Thompson's there. Bilal Coulibaly's there. Unfortunately, they lost Fred. They're about to lose Fred VanVleet for the year. But that, I mean, I
That
think that
price
was a,
was, yeah.
yeah. I mean, whatever. But um, yeah, Draymond is there. Carried a steady veteran hand, and
Nick
Donovan Clingan was
Claxton,
their draft pick last year. Claxton is there now after the trade, the late season trade with you. So they've got the makings of a nice young defensive squad. Herb Jones is there. He didn't play much last year, but Mikal Bridges is also there. I don't know if we could talk about him in the same mold anymore, but
yeah.
we'll see if that's a guy that stays on this roster. $51 feels a little bit uh you got money to blow, but I mean, do you want to spend that on Mikal Bridges right now? I don't know. We'll see. So let's get to the pick. And it was VJ Edgecombe. Interesting note. I think if you when we look back at the submissions, I believe Ace Bailey was actually ranked higher for him than VJ Edgecombe, interestingly enough. So
Oh,
yeah, that's that maybe we can hear some commentary from Steve Blake Express and how they feel about what they got in this draft right now. So we spoke a little bit about VJ, but yeah, I love this pick for them. His profile, his just even what he could do as a spot up shooter, and um, I think there's probably some on ball stuff yet that he still has to develop. Um, but I like him, and he was pretty good in summer league, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he's been checking all the boxes, man. And
Mhm.
then he's gonna have even more opportunity, right, with McCain, with the unfortunate injury. I mean, he might be inserted pretty quickly. PG is pretty
Yeah,
fragile.
yeah,
I
he's
was
gonna
trying to
get some
remember.
time.
I was trying to remember if PG is even healthy, right, to start the season,
I don't think so.
right?
Yeah, I don't think so. Um, which is kind of sad for Philly right now. But yeah, that just means more playing time for VJ, and I think he'll look really good next to Maxi. Yeah. All right, not much else to say there. I give the pick a A. What do you say?
Hey,
What do you
right
think?
on.
Yeah,
Hey,
right on.
hey, absolutely.
Perfect.
That's good value.
All right, let's go to another one of our new managers over in Flint.
Hmm.
They had the number five pick. Uh, they've got some decisions to make this offseason. We just talked about Philly, and they've got a few Philly guys on their roster, including one Joel Embiid, two Paul George. So two guys that we just mentioned that probably won't be available a whole lot this in the beginning of this season, if at all, and may struggle to be available throughout the rest of the season. Just as a general rule. Kelly Oubre is also there, and he should be getting some playing time, obviously. But what do you envision for pick number five for the Flint Tropics, their first rookie pick in the association?
Not knowing much about Flint Tropics, but having had private discussions or conversations with him with regarding like trade potential trades, he seems to be very much a value kind of based drafter. And so I think he leans to kind of following more consensus and kind of what folks are um, kind of ranking the players. So I think he chooses Con Canopal here primarily because that's typically who we see at five. I mean, sometimes you see a little bit of Trey Johnson, right? So I
Mhm.
think it's certainly between those two players, but Knupple has had a pretty strong surge, especially kind of given how he ended the summer league. And
Yeah, cool. And let's see what the pick was. And it is Con Knuffel. I don't have a lot to say about Con Knuffel. He can shoot,
he
pretty
played
good
for he,
size.
he played for Duke, man. That's kind of a big indicator. That's a big
Yeah,
feature, right? Duke
seems
players are
like a
translating as of
yeah, he
late.
seems like a high IQ guy. In terms of what he'll do in Charlotte, I think he probably is the right guy to fit next to LaMelo and Brad and Miller.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I think he's gonna be a good complementary player. Do you see anything? What do you feel like his upside is?
I mean, I think the hopes is maybe, I mean, hoping he can be Rozier is probably a push. I don't know if you remember when like Rozier and LaMelo Ball were running the backcourt and they were just causing havoc, man. Especially Rozier in the fourth quarters, man. Like
Hmm.
it was just magical to watch that team in the fourth quarter. They were always in a game no matter what the score was because they just were like crunch time players and they just fed off of each other. They were just
Hmm.
really fun. And so I think the hopes is, I mean, he won't have, say, the playmaking of a Rozier, especially coming in as a rookie,
Hmm.
but maybe he brings his own kind of swing on it, and he's able to complement LaMelo Ball pretty well, especially with Brandon Miller there,
Hmm.
right? And then
Hmm.
they've got Bridges, which they're I don't know. They're not really committed to Bridges, right? So that's kind of complicated. But he's still there, right, for the next 2 years or whatever, or a year, or however much years he's got left on his contract. So I'm
Yeah.
I'm I'm excited, and I watch a lot of Hornets games. Like I like watching LaMelo Ball. You know, some people
Hmm.
don't because I mean he can get a little bit frustrating with some of his shot selection. But I mean, you also look at the players that he's playing with on the floor, and it's.
Yeah. He's probably not as and when I make this comparison, but I want to know he's probably not going to have the same kind of defensive impact of the guy that I'm thinking in terms of what he can be to LaMelo Ball. But I think in a best case scenario, he can be, you know, Desmond Bain to what, you know, to a Ja Morant. Is, in the best case scenario, he can be that for LaMelo Ball, that type of player. But I think he's going to struggle a little bit on defense, right? I don't think his size may translate though to be more of like a 3 and D kind of guy. Who's their coach again? Who Hornets?
Mm, Man, I'm blanking on the coach's name.
S-
It's not
I forget, but I don't know if he can kind of be more of like a 3 and D guy and just like be a glue guy for that team. I think he's gonna have a nice role
yeah,
for the Hornets.
and the head coach is Charles Lee.
Oh yeah, okay,
Um,
yeah. Um, yeah, we'll see. But I think he's probably a good passer, high IQ guy, right? So
I like the Desmond Bain comp. That's a really good one, and I think that's at least offensively what they're hoping that he can
yeah,
bring.
at least offensively, I think he
Yeah.
can probably do that, right? Okay. So what do you grade this pick?
Um, I graded a B.
Okay.
I'm personally higher on a couple of other players.
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
we'll get into that. We'll get into that. I will say this one thing. I don't know based on where they are in their franchise right now, like you're looking at probably needing somebody who can come in with a and really give a pack. There's probably another guy I would have picked here. But it does read more of like a safe pick for me. So I'm gonna go with I would go probably more like a B+, A- kind of pick.
mhm.
Um, like it's not a bad pick, obviously, but I feel like I would have did something else here. Especially where things are in this franchise. They got Jalen Suggs, Colin Sexton's there. Oh, he's also a Hornet, right?
He
I
is a
forget.
Hornet
Yeah,
now.
he's a
Yeah,
Hornet now, right?
right.
Sabonis is there. And a few other. Oh, another heel, Diabate. Is he going to play this year for the Hornets as much? Maybe still a backup. Maybe the start. I forget who else they got. No, he might start. Um, Jabari Smith Jr. is there now.
Mhm.
So maybe yeah, I would have went somewhere else here. But Colin Knuppel obviously is you can't go wrong there, I guess, right? It's a top 5 pick.
Yeah, I mean that's consensus, man.
Yeah, it's consensus. All right, cool. Let's move on to King's Landing. A franchise who they've got a lot going on. They've got a lot of decisions to make this year. A lot of talent on the franchise, but they're a bit over the cap and they don't have the uh the win percentage to justify that kind of spending.
Mm.
So last year they drafted the rookie of the year, Stephon Castle. Um Everyone else is pretty much a veteran on this team. So what do you think is a good place for them to go here at number 6?
I think you got to go Trey Johnson. You got to get a degenerate. You got to get somebody who says he has no hobbies outside of the game of basketball. You want somebody that's going to continue to change the culture of your organization. And
Yeah.
I just love everything about the kid.
That's who
Um,
I would have went, but just
yep.
for the record, that's who I would have went for Flint. I would have probably went with Trey Johnson.
I mean, I got so excited when I was doing my research where I was almost ready to choose him like three, maybe even like the kid is just like when he's just talking about, and you can tell it's just he's not just he's not just talking just to talk. Like he is really addicted to the game of ball.
Mm.
And so just seeing that passion and just the amount of effort, he puts into the game of ball, it just feels like it's gonna work out. And he's probably gonna have the upside to potentially be a star. Of course, that's still, who knows, right?
Who knows, right? It is I mean, he is in Washington, so we'll see.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's see what King's Landing decided to do at number six. Ooh, Mr. Fears, Jeremiah Fears.
King's Landon has a habit of doing shit like this.
So, I mean, a lot, probably one of the most polarizing guys
hmm
in this area of the draft, right? What are your feelings on Jeremiah Fears?
I think his number is zero, right? So it's zero fears, right? So he is a personality, right? So
Mm,
and I think that's why King's Landon chose him, right? Like he is absolutely a dog. Um, it's just I feel like his upside is pretty limited and it's gonna take him a while.
mm, hmm
Especially given the landing spot. I don't really
hmm
like the landing spot with the Pelicans.
What's
Um,
how tall is he?
they have him listed at 6'2", with a wingspan of 6'5". He's
Okay,
only he's only
okay.
18 years old, right? So
hmm
that's working with him.
hmm
Um, but yeah, I mean, just for context, right? Like I play in a lot of leagues, right? I've been doing a lot of rookie drafts. Jeremiah Fears ADP right now is 11.5, right? So he's
In rookie drafts?
in rookie drafts,
Oh wow. Okay. That's
right?
interesting.
And so, I mean, that would have been an opportunity to possibly slide back and maybe get your guy. I mean, I know association is not your typical rookie draft too. So that's kind of complicated
Mhm.
as far as figuring out that spot to move to. But
So
uh,
he was picked number seven by the New Orleans Pelicans. Let's just get this out. Let's just get this out there. I'm not a huge fan of what that front office um has historically done. And when I say that front office, I'm talking about Joe Dumars and Weaver.
mhm.
Um, Maybe like 20 years ago they were good, maybe. I don't know. And actually, I'm pretty sure Joe Dumars is responsible for not taking Melo, Carmelo Anthony, taking Darko over Melo. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. Maybe he wasn't there yet, but I feel like I want to blame him for that. Um, yeah, Jeremiah Fears, I, he could ball, but you know who he kind of reminds me of, in some ways? He kind of reminds me of this year's Rob Dillingham. Um, like if you were really excited about him. I feel like you remember how people were really excited about Dillingham last year.
Yeah.
I kind of have the same feeling, but I think he has a higher upside than Dillingham. But I don't
Yeah.
know. I think it's gonna be a while before we really see what Jeremiah Fears can do. Because do you see him playing over? Alvarado?
I don't see him playing over a lot of people, and he didn't look. I mean, don't get me wrong, take summer league with a grain of salt, but I mean, there's just certain things you
He's
expect
definitely not
and
gonna
want
play
to see.
over Jordan
I
Poole.
I don't know that he can. He just can't shoot well enough to play with like Zion, right? If Zion's going to be the
Oh
face of your
yeah,
organization, right?
right, right.
Like you need spacing, and nobody's running out to Jeremiah Fears. Like he shot it like 28% from the three-point line in college on 4 attempts, and he's
Hmm.
just historically not a great field goal percentage guy.
Yeah,
So,
that's gonna be a problem.
hey,
But like you said, he's 18 years old.
yep.
Let's give him some time to cook. Um, as far as like his fit with King's Landing, what do you think here? I think if you're looking at a player that you're not looking for anything right now, which they don't need any guard play per se. They got Kobe White, Tyler Hero, Stephon Castle again, Norm Powell. They have enough at guard to kind of keep them in. They're not like in a panic to get Jeremiah Fears. I actually kind of like the pick for them.
Yeah, I think getting a guard or the best available is really good, right? Because even their forwards, right, and centers are pretty good with Julius Randle. You got Bam Adebayo, which maybe
Hmm.
you keep, maybe you don't. But I mean, that's okay value at $99. Jaren Jackson Jr. Maybe you have
You
to
got, I
make a
think you have to
decision,
keep them. Yeah.
right? And then Laurie Marketing, right? Uh,
Laurie Marketing is there.
right.
You're gonna have to,
So
but someone is not gonna be someone is gonna be left out of this equation.
yeah.
They're gonna have to bust a move for sure. All right. So grade,
Uh, C minus, C
okay.
minus.
I give it a B plus.
Yeah, C minus.
Maybe a
Just
B.
because
Maybe a B. I
just
give it a
just
B.
just because it's gonna
Not a B
take
plus.
time. It's gonna take time, and I don't know. Like patience kind of runs thin sometimes in association, especially with the rookie players.
Yeah.
But maybe this franchise has time, right? Like
They have time.
I don't know that I see a playoff roster unless I
I,
don't know. A
I,
lot of things have to go right.
I'll be honest. This is another team that I feel like Trey, uh, Trey Johnson would have been great for. I, you know, but given what you, if maybe King's Landing is more on the positive side of what Jeremiah Fears could be, and if you're thinking kind of like the Ace Bailey pick, if you're thinking this could be a home run swing, I don't mind that, and I think I'd rather take a big swing like that, knowing that I can wait on a player. So I'm gonna give this a B plus. All righty.
Boston Bombers. I
Boston
know
Bombers are next.
and this is like traditional kind of Boston Bombers where you got a bunch of people reaching and they kind of come in and get pretty good value. Like I am I can't say 99% sure just because it is the association, but I am 90% sure that Trey Johnson is coming to the Boston Bombers at 7.
I would be shocked if
Yeah.
I would have been shocked if he ends up not being the pick here. Um, so yeah, I mean, without further ado, let's just get to it. And it is Trey Johnson. I mean, Boston always has has a pretty good record when it comes to the rookie draft. So um, not surprised here by the pick. I think we've been talking about Trey Johnson for a while, but one of the things is like his scoring, his shooting, specifically is outrageous and um, pretty good athleticism. Um,
He shot at 40% from three on 7 attempts.
the guy is a bucket. He's a you yell shooter when he's on the floor, right? Um, so he's gonna need the Bombers are gonna need his shooting for sure. No Tyrese Halliburton this year.
Mhm.
Um, Kevin Durant is almost 150. Do
So
you
that's
keep him? I
so
don't know.
so that on that question, do you keep Halliburton at the 113 or
I
like
mean, knowing that, yeah, that's really tough. I mean, you got to look at it and say, well, what are the Bombers' goals this year, right? Um, are they looking to make a run? If you're keeping Kevin Durant at 150, are you redshirting Tyrese Halliburton at 113 and using up that cap space? That doesn't make sense to me. Um, if you're keeping him and you're redshirting Halliburton, then now you're looking at, okay, what are we going to do with Kevin Durant? That's a bigger decision at that point, right? You don't just give Kevin Durant away, but you also don't want to sign him to that number, right? You also
yeah.
have Zach LaVine there who's making $75, and a bunch of other guys that you can let go and try to re-sign. Like Valanciunas is not coming back at $78, right?
I mean, he was almost not in the NBA. Right.
Okay.
And he's like backing up Jokic now. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Contavious
that's
Caldwell Pope. Where is he now? Where's Contavious Caldwell Pope again?
he's in Memphis. He's in
Oh, he's in
Memphis,
Memphis. Okay.
which is a nice spot, but not
Nice
at
spot.
$28.
Right. No, I think you're rebuilding around your cheap young players, Derek Lively, Reed Shepherd, RJ Barrett is there at $3. Shaden
Danny
Sharp.
Avia, right?
Avdia is there,
Right, like
he's going to
that's
be really good pick last year for them and really worked out. Um, but yeah, I mean you could keep Halliburton at 113, but it's kind of like why bother?
I would yeah, my personal strategy is I'd have 130 and 113 locked up and ready to roll, but I would hope to try to maybe get him at the 24, 25 salary at around $79. Like that would be like my
Yeah,
goal.
yeah, I
Maybe it's
agree.
possible, maybe it's not, right? It really kind of depends on when he's nominated in a lot of these
Hmm.
drafts.
Hmm.
Uh,
Hmm.
but I mean, it's a strong chance. I mean, it's
We'll
only going to be a
see.
handful of people with money,
Right.
and everybody claims to say that they're competing. So, it's a whole lot of dollars, right, to put towards a player that's not going to play next season.
Exactly. I agree. So Trey Johnson enters the mix here. Um, it- you know, they don't like you said, we talked about not re-signing Valanciunas at $78, but also what do you do with Hal Horford at $16, right? I mean, either way, you can't go into the season with those two being your options at big man, right? I mean,
Yeah,
Lively is there, but I feel
it's
like you need
injury.
some reinforcement, right?
Yeah. And I mean, that was made clear, right? I mean, that's why you signed Valanciunas, right, to this big offer sheet, right? And I mean, oddly enough, right, I had all the centers in the world, right? I feel like,
Could have made
this
some
season,
deals.
that was an opportunity to make some trades, happen with the
Yeah.
Bombers.
Well, maybe they still can, but Trey Johnson's here. I'm giving this pick probably a A plus.
Yeah, I'm at an A plus. I mean, to get
Yeah,
him at 7 is like
yeah,
that's yeah, I'm just really
yeah.
high on him.
I mean he went sixth in the NBA draft to the Wizards, so it's around his time. 7 is not too egregious, but I think we just liked him for some of the other spots earlier.
Yeah, I'm looking at the rookie drafts. The highest I've seen him go is 4. He went in Granger Things. He went 4 in Granger Things.
Oh, okay.
That was the highest spot. Everywhere else, just either 5 or 6.
Hmm.
He's never gone lower than 6 in any of the rookie drafts that I've participated in, at least.
Fair enough. Let's move to Van City. Van City, um, one of our top four teams from last year. Um, they don't have any issues, you know, picking up. or identifying talent, right? So, um, what who do you like for this squad? They're coming in with, you know, a nice core. Talk about Shea, SGA, talk about Jalen Williams, and then they round this off with making moves for two big men this offseason, Jalen Duren and Mark Williams. Um, and then they've got Kyle Weir kind of waiting in the wing to step into one of those roles. Um, who would
I
you like to see
I mean,
here?
I kind of got a little bit of inside information, so I think I know where the pick goes.
Oh yeah, we
Um,
talked
and
about this at
and
in our
and
la in uh
I like it. I mean, I think you keep it Canadian, right? And you go with Colin Murray Boyles, right? One, it's a hometown favorite, and two, I think this team could use right another kind of forward, kind of combo type of player. Um, and I just think it's a really good fit for this roster, and I think he'll get opportunities, especially if Ingram's going to be struggling with health or all the other players that Toronto has had that struggles with health. Um, yeah, I think
yeah.
Colin Murray Boyles, but
Yeah, they were pretty they Cooks was pretty confident in that's who would fall to him at number eight, and it was Colin Murray Boyles, selected to the Toronto Raptors at the number ninth pick in the NBA draft. Solid shooter, right? And probably projects more as like a three and D type of guy. Um, his role was a little, if I'm thinking about the right guy, his role was a little funny, right? Because he played some big man, right, in college, but
y-
was undersized, kind of like a
y-
Draymond kind of guy.
yeah, man, I regret not bringing up some of the player comps that the Ringer has, man. So
Oh
they
yeah,
have like
let's hear it.
so you're gonna like this one. And I like that you brought that he played like big man. For player comps, they have him like Anthony Mason
Oh,
as like strong kind of correlation, big bubble, kind of
that's a good one.
on the outskirts of like players he could potentially become.
Hmm.
If he could become Meta World Peace, that'd be phenomenal. I think, they would be very happy, right, if he could develop into a Meta
Sure.
World Peace. And then the
Okay.
other player, Draymond Green, right?
Draymond Green. Yeah.
Right.
That's who I kind of think automatically is Draymond Green.
So if he becomes Draymond Green, then that's like, I think, right, that
Yeah.
franchise is really, really excited. Um,
Yeah, except I think one of um the knocks are, well, is what so his fit with Toronto
yeah,
though, like that's the weird one for
that's
me.
weird. Yep.
Um, so, but I think Cooks felt pretty good about his fit in Toronto. So
If
maybe
I mean, I don't know because you got Podol, you got Scotty Barnes. Ingram can hit some threes. You got Quickly can hit some threes, and then I'm forgetting the one, RJ Barrett, right? If
RJ
they
Barrett
are,
is
if
there.
which is, I mean, it's just, yeah, that's kind of a Frankenstein type of roster. It's just not enough shooting unless they think he'll develop the shooting.
Hmm.
Um, it's kind of tough, but I mean, defensively they might look pretty good.
He'll fit in um pretty well as far as a rotation guy probably, right? So I don't it's hard to say how many minutes he'll get, but again, that positional thing because they're kind of a tall, lanky team, if I'm not mistaken. Like we you mentioned like
Yep.
Ingram, Scotty Barnes, guys like that. Boucher is also there still, probably, I think, right? Um, we'll see. But well, how do you grade this pick for Van City?
Mm, I mean, I got to think about kind of the draft spot and where it's at. I mean, choosing a home town favorite, like a B plus. And
Hmm.
that's just because of where I sit on the player. But,
Hmm. Hmm.
you know, considering all the factors, I kind of like the thought process.
Yeah, I definitely like the thought process. Uh, this guy could be a like all around. I wonder if they, he's got Jalen Williams on the roster, and I wonder if he saw something similar in Colin Murray Boyles in terms of like what he potentially could be, not as a playmaker, but just as a guy who can be versatile enough to play multiple positions and, give you some, out of position stats when you're talking about like threes and some defensive stats, blocks, steals, rebounds kind of guy at maybe a small forward. That's pretty valuable, in the league like the association. So, yeah, I'm gonna go with I'll probably go more of like a B plus, just because again, I don't I feel like this could also Colin could also just not work out at all, and maybe it may never. I don't know. We just don't know. So
Yeah, and I think there's
um
one player I would have taken ahead of him. Um, that's kind of in his tier, I view.
mhm.
But that's just me.
Okay, who would you have taken
I
for
like
him?
I like Cedric Coward, and I like how Memphis develops rookies. I feel pretty
Hmm.
good with with the opportunity that they give young players. And I think
Hmm.
he's gonna have a lot of good opportunity, especially as this Memphis is going through whatever transition that they're going through. Um, yeah, personally, that's who I would have gone here.
Okay, fair enough. Um, yeah, fair enough. Nothing,
I
nothing
mean,
to
he's
add to that.
the challenge is maybe he's more of a guard, right? He's a little bit
He's probably a
undersized
wing player. He's
because
a wing. He's
yeah,
a
he's a
wing
wing.
player.
He's a
He's a
wing.
wing player. Yeah, he's a wing player.
His wingspan is pretty good. I was just looking at that. He's like a 7'2" wingspan.
Yeah, that might be more.
He's
He
only
might.
six
He.
five. He's only 6'5", but he's got a 7'2" wingspan.
Oh wow. So that might be more of what Van City would have had in mind. But I mean, like you said, it's a homer pick. Um,
Yeah,
and you can't. You never go wrong with that, right? You're happy
absolutely.
one way or the other.
Exactly, because I
Um.
would have chosen Igor, right? Right.
Oh, okay.
Within the personally, just if I'm any place right outside of probably at 7 is where I
Hmm.
choose Igor, right?
Igor.
Yeah, Fears wouldn't be in my top 7. But Igor, I've been taking 7, 8 in a couple places.
Okay. Fair enough. Let's get into Titanes de San Juan. Um, where do you um what do you feel is going on in San Juan? They're another team that's way over the cap. Um, they've got a lot of people to play in terms of like you got Luca, you got Brunson, Scotty Barnes needs his money. Um,
Yeah, maybe they become a hard cap team, bring it all back. Um,
do they have well, I gotta look to see if they have any bird rights players, but they might not.
Scotty Barnes should
Scotty
be
Barnes probably
probably
by now. Yeah, Scotty Barnes should be by now. Yeah, you're
Scotty
right.
Barnes should be there.
Yeah, because he's been there from the beginning since he got drafted. He was drafted there as a rookie. So
So,
yeah, he probably has bird rights with Scotty Barnes.
I mean, I don't know if they'll want to take it that way, right? But it's going to be tricky to try to get underneath the salary cap, right, and keep his best players. Um, because that
Um,
would. Maybe I mean you take Brooke and PJ, what does that get you? $74. Maybe that's close. Yeah. You take away PJ and Brooke Lopez and Aaron Wiggins, right? That probably gets you underneath the soft cap.
Well, I mean, if you're coming in with Luca, Scotty Barnes, Jaden
You know,
McDaniels, and
Bridges.
Jalen Brunson, you're under the cap right there,
Yep.
and you're bringing in whoever this rookie is, and then now you're entering the draft with, I don't know, maybe $150 or 100, a little over $100, whatever that equates to. Um, maybe $90. Yeah, $90.
Yeah, it's gonna be. Yeah, I mean,
It's gonna be tight
and so you're considering Miles Bridges. You let him walk
at
in that scenario.
$53. I,
It's
I mean,
yeah,
okay, you add
it's
him,
tough.
now you're
It's
talking about
tough.
$40 for
Yeah.
it's not gonna look good either way, right?
Yeah, you got to do what you got to
Um,
do. That's true.
yeah, yeah. So you got to figure that out. Oh, I forgot they got Salon. They drafted Salon last year. So unfortunately, so interestingly enough, right? Like last year they went with a Charlotte Hornets player. We still have a high profile Charlotte Hornets, well, I'll say Duke player, still on the board. So not in Charlotte, but a North Carolina, uh, state, um, college, player still on the board. What do you see? They do need a big. Who do you see, as a pick for, Titanes here? You
I
mentioned
think
Igor before, right?
yeah, Igor is gonna be heavy consideration or Malachi, right? The Duke player
Oh,
uh,
Malawach, yeah.
Malawach. Wow,
Mhm.
Malawach. Yeah, so right, that's probably gonna be in heavy consideration. Um, Malawach has been going like around the eighth place from ADP. I've seen him go as early as seven. Right, and you bring up a good point with him being a good fit for that team. Um, I mean, the other player you could reach if you're looking for a big is Queen, right?
Oh, Derek Queen, yeah.
Right, Queen has been, excuse me, has been a big
Mm.
player there. Um, I think he goes Malawach. I think he kind of assesses his situation and he tries to get a big who's gonna have an opportunity, right, playing on the Phoenix Suns, right? That's one thing he's gonna get, which is minutes with a team that's looking to rebuild or retool, depending on which lens you look through it.
All right, well, let's see what the Titanes did. And they went with your guy,
Oh, so
Brooklyn Nets,
they went ADP.
Igor Demin. Tell us about Igor. You said you've been drafting him around the 6 through 8
Yeah, so
lot.
Igor, and he showed some flashes during summer league. He was the best playmaker in the draft. So he came out of BYU, um, and he's got a strong work ethic. Um, he possesses the ability to knock down threes, and he showed it in the summer league.
Mhm.
He had a stretch during his rookie year in college where he looked pretty decent, but then he had another stretch where he didn't look so good, right? So, right, the 3-point shot is kind of a working project, right? It's a little bit inconsistent, but if there's one place that can help him improve, it's certainly the Brooklyn Nets. But I think his game just fits into like the NBA today, where you just need a bunch of like these big guards or forwards that can kind of get everybody, can play make, play some defense, do a little bit of everything. I will say his ball handling is not that great, so that's gonna need some time. But he's got the work ethic, and he's been saying a lot of the right stuff. So I'm pretty excited because I think playmaking is like underrated, right? Like you got somebody that's got the opportunity to be a floor general has got the wingspan, right? So he's 6'8", right? But the wingspan is 6'10". I mean, a player like him puts on some size and um, he could just be really good. It's always tough to evaluate these players too because they're not playing with, say, the elite players like you would see at like a Duke or something, right?
Mhm.
So I mean, being able to be one of the best playmakers on like a BYU team, I think, in my opinions, says something.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't see any reason why he shouldn't be getting minutes on the Nets, right? And
He's injured
he's
right now.
oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, yeah.
All
So
right.
he might be starting in like the G League, which kind of sucks.
Okay. Well, with Luca and Jalen Brunson, assuming they both come back, I mean, they're not, I don't think Titanis is uh, you know, struggling for guard play. So Igor will have some time to rest up, get healed up, and learn how to play some NBA basketball. I think it's going to take us a while. I've actually heard the term project thrown around when it comes to Igor. Have you?
Yeah, yeah, but I mean, Project is, I don't know. I think people are like doing a little bit too much. I mean, the Nets are going to be a project, right? It's just they're just throwing a bunch of inexperienced guys with a coach that looks like he's pretty good at coaching and developing players. So, um, yeah, I mean, this is going to be a project, but they don't have anything, right? If you ask me,
Hmm.
right? So I don't,
Hmm.
right, it's going to be even hard to even evaluate him. I
Yeah.
feel like in a year or two, like you're probably going to need like that third year and having the right players kind of around. I'm looking at some of the player. I actually like. There's this one line. They said Demon is the three-eyed raven of the draft. He sees
Mm.
everything at all times, and I thought that was pretty interesting and probably speaks to his height, right? Right, and an ability to pass the ball. Player comps.
Yeah, who's the player comp?
Sean Livingston has got the biggest bubble. I thought that one was interesting. I think some of the other ones are pretty good. Kyle Anderson, Josh Giddey. Um, I do see some Josh Giddey in
I
him.
could see the Josh
I
Giddey.
see
I
some
could I
Josh
could see
Giddey in
the
him.
I could see the Josh Giddey one.
The Denny Avdia, they have Denny Avdia.
Denny
I don't, I
Avdia.
don't, I
I
don't,
could see Denny.
I don't
I could
know.
see Denny. I could see Denny maybe more than Giddy, but
Yeah.
I think I actually like that one.
Yeah.
Um,
I think Kyle Anderson is like the floor. I think Kyle
Kyle
Anderson is like,
Anderson is interesting one too.
yeah.
I actually have someone else that I'm considering for Kyle Anderson. Um, as a comp. But we'll get to that too. Because it's not a perfect comp, but um, I'll explain. And yeah, as far as like, so what are you grading this pick for San Juan?
I mean, I think it's an A. I mean, it's a shock, but it's not a shock, right? Because he typically just kind of goes to ADP, right? Because I know he's not really tracking the players. It's
Yeah,
it's
so
just it's
Igor
just
went 8 in
right,
to Brooklyn.
right, and that's the best available player.
Hmm.
Um, I I just really like it. Like I think he's got the most upside, in my opinion,
Yeah,
right here, especially with like a playmaker and assist, right, being a hard category to kind of build on. So I mean, and it's Brooklyn Nets, right? He's going to get opportunity, right? So you don't have to worry about that.
yeah. I would have liked to see Kaman Malawach here, the center out of Duke. Um, just because of, like I said, I
The need.
mean, yeah, the
Yeah,
need,
yeah,
just because of the need.
yeah. I
But
hear you.
if you, I don't know if he liked Derek Queen or not, or how we feel about Derek Queen, but another guy who maybe can give you some big man stats, but he's not really struggling much with that because there's actually no real like big men like that on his team. Like Lopez, yes, but Lopez is like a tall guard who blocks shots.
Yeah.
Um, and then PJ Washington is more of like a 3 and D kind of player. So yeah, I feel like someone like Queen might have brought something a little bit different to the team. And again, I think Malwash was probably uh something that was needed there. But I'm not mad if you think Igor is the best player available, then you go best player available and you figure it out from there. So I think I give it a B.
Hmm.
Um um let's move on to Miami. The Money Men.
Money, man. Money, 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 man.
Yes, sir.
We're talking about variance. We're talking about the money, man. You can't predict what they're gonna do in any draft.
Yeah, they've really stumped us in the past with some of their picks. Um I'm thinking back to like top six pick Jet Howard 1 year, right?
Yeah, and he's not on the. I'm looking at. He's not on the roster right now. So I
Probably
mean,
not. Who else? I can't remember who it was last year, but
they take their swings.
take their swings and not mad at it.
Yeah.
Um, so lots of needs for this team, right? They're
Hmm.
also a team who they're gonna want to make some decisions with their salary. Probably some easy ones, easier to make than some of the other teams we've discussed. Um, I think we probably both would agree Giannis is coming back. Um, and then you've got CJ McCollum, who's at a kind of high for him, but reasonable price nonetheless. Jakob Poeltl and and Walker Kessler are there, so I think we could say their front court is probably set.
Hmm.
Um, what given that situation, who is a player you would target here for Miami?
Would take a swing, and if I'm thinking fit, I'd probably go Cedric Coward here. Try to get
Mm,
a
mhm.
try to get a wing slash guard. I'd probably skip Malawatch. And right, if Sorber was healthy, right, maybe I consider him here. If you're high on Noah Essengue, I mean that's another guy. But yeah, I'd take Cedric Coward. I doubt Moneyman takes Cedric Coward. Um, but maybe he chooses Noah Essengue. Or maybe he chooses the Miami Heat rookie, right?
Oh yeah. Um,
Ka
uh, J
Kasparas.
Kasparos, yeah. Jaka.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, yeah, let's see what Miami did. They went with Carter Bryant,
That's
um,
off the Spurs, right?
off the Spurs. So similar profile, I think, to the guy you were looking at, which was Coward, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think Carter Bryant maybe even more than Cedric Coward is kind of looked at as like a defensive
Yeah.
wing.
Yeah, he's
Hmm.
seen as the architect 3 and D. I mean, his wingspan is 7 foot. He stands at 6'6".
Hmm.
I think maybe he's overlooked. I think possibly because of um like it's a loaded kind of front court and it might take him some time
Yeah.
to to get playing time. Um and that's a big reason why I think I've overlooked is I don't know that I see the path to minutes, but this could be a good long-term play, right? Like he's got a lot of the things that you like. His player comps. Um You've got Aaron Gordon, you've got Jordan Walsh, Terry Eason, Marvin Williams, Tumani Kamara, right? So
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I I see Carter Bryant is similar to, I feel like he has a similar feel to like Jeremy Sohan.
mhm.
Um, I think on the, I would, I would even say a Matisse Thybulle kind of guy. I don't, I don't love this pick at all. I, I just, like you said, the path to minutes may or may not be there for him on the Spurs. I don't really see much of anything from here. I think I see role player and nothing more.
Yeah, I mean the one thing I will say, right, kind of maybe thinking kind of the money man side, if there's one team that develops like these 3 and D players to have like some sort of offensive game, it's the Spurs, right? You think Devin Vassell, you think Derek White, you think Kawhi Leonard, right? I mean, given these guys showed a little bit, at least Kawhi Leonard showed a little bit more. Vassell, I can't speak to.
Vassell was
I
known as
didn't.
a shooter coming
Oh, he
out.
was okay.
Yeah.
So I wasn't following that.
Yeah.
Are there? I'm trying to think any other defensive players. Um,
Yeah, that's why I'm looking at Sohan as kind of like a similar. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't love. I didn't. You trust the Spurs and what they do, but I also didn't love this pick for them either. So, and so again, you talk about money men picking their guy when they won. Carter Bryant went pick 14. Um, you know, right after Derek Queen, Noah Sengue, who you mentioned before, Cedric Howard, who you also mentioned, who was I guess tra the Memphis traded up to get him.
mhm.
I think I would have liked the Coward pick more so here for Money Men. What are you grading this pick?
I mean, I'd grade it a C, mainly because the kid is young. He's got the wingspan. He's got the defensive ability now. I think it's just going to take time, and so that's kind of that's kind of my grade, right? If I don't think the player is going to have impact in the short term, say year, 2 years, it's going to take him a little bit longer. It's more of a project.
Yeah, he seems more like a project to me. I don't love him at pick 10 for that reason, but I'm gonna yeah probably go with a C or a D for this pick. But we'll see. Maybe he's on the Spurs. Maybe he has opportunity to grow into something very nice.
Yeah, the
We'll see.
problem is we haven't been proven wrong with these picks. So,
Well,
Money
yeah,
Man's
and
gotta,
Moneyman hasn't given us much confidence
yep.
with his rookie pick. So, we'll hope we're rooting for you though, man.
Hmm.
Rooting for you. All right, we're back to Flint. Um, we're back to Flint. They've got the number 11 pick. Earlier they went with Conn at number 5 and are on the clock here for the 11th pick. We already discussed their team pretty heavily. You know, do you think they're keeping Joel Embiid at $99?
99% chance they are not.
Okay.
Like he is just not worth that salary, and I think the market sentiment is probably that he's not worth that salary. Like you're seeing him going like fifth, or like you're seeing him going later in draft. So I mean, there's just no reason to keep him at that price point, even if you do want to keep him.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, for me, I'm going best player available. here. I think I already talked about Malawach, thinking he should have went earlier.
He's taking Malawach here, right?
Yeah,
Like I've kind of given his
the,
bio
the
value based.
Duke, yeah, Duke connection too with Nipple.
That's cool.
That's a nice one. Yeah, let's see what it is. And it is Talmud Malawach. I think it's a great value pick for at going to number 11. I will say I don't know how much he's going to play his first year. I think he does have, although I like what he brings to the table, I think he does. He's going to need a lot of development. I wouldn't be surprised to see him in the G League for at least the beginning of the season. Um, but I do look forward to seeing what he can do on the NBA level. I think he's got some really good potential, but I think he's so raw that you know it's hard for me to see him playing right now. So I think the back end of the draft, you know, at this point is probably the right place for him to go, honestly. Even though I said I would like to have seen him gone like maybe number 9 or something, but I think this is
Yeah,
okay. I think this is a good spot for him actually.
his player comps don't get you excited, but I can see it. Like they've got JaVale McGee,
Hmm. I don't know about that
uh,
one.
and then Christian Coloco, and then Kaleo Ware is another player
That's
too.
interesting. Um,
Yeah, I don't know enough about Malaka.
mm,
Malawach. I keep saying
yeah,
Malaka. Malawach.
yeah. I just had somebody in mind. Um, I just had somebody in mind. Uh, what's my guy who what's my guy who used to play for like all right. So from a I guess archetype guy player I really see him more as like probably really good at boards and shot blocking potential. Um, but I don't know what else I'm seeing out of him um at this level yet, right? Because he hasn't been playing basketball for that long either, but he's
Yeah,
probably
that's
so
true.
talented that he's 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 still like he still has a lot of room to grow and to develop. Um, but I don't think he probably would be more of a similar type player as like Mark Williams, actually, who
Hmm.
coincidentally he's gonna, be playing behind for a couple of years. So I think maybe Mark Williams is not a bad comp for him.
Hmm.
I mean, I think Mark Williams is better at this
Yeah.
point in his career, um, but I think similar skill set, if that makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, blob threat, defensive player, rebounds.
That being said, I give this pick a A. What do you?
Yeah, I mean, especially in conjunction with their fifth pick. I mean, I like the upside and
Yeah,
bringing these guys together, the
yeah,
Dukies.
definitely. Yeah, I mean, really two great value picks there at number 11. All right, we're off to Frankfurt. The 17ers. Ooh, they've got a lot of work to do with their cap. They've had really great fortune in previous drafts, right? Um, Paolo, Anthony Edwards, uh, Franz Wagner. Um, I mean, that's three right there. Um, what what kind of player do you feel is needed here?
I think. I mean, I'm just looking at the roster and I'm like, yeah, there's a lot. I mean, they've been looking for a big for a while that'll play and stay on the court. Um,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Unfortunately, or unfortunately, there's no rookie that would could be
would
picked here
fit
that
that
would be
bill.
yeah that would do them any justice for where this team should be, right? One of our rising four teams. Um,
Yeah, I think I'd be looking at best available player, and right here I've got Cedric Coward as the player. I mean, there's Derek Queen, right? Right,
hmm
and New Orleans is invested in Queen, so Queen could potentially be the pick if they really want to go a center here. Um, but I'm just higher on Coward, or if you're willing to wait a year, right? Thomas Sorber, like I would have taken him as high as 10, right? If he wasn't, right? If he didn't have the injury. I mean, there's no
hmm
reason
hmm
not to, but if you want some contribution, right, or some evaluation for this year, it'd be nice to see
Right,
him play.
right. Okay. Yeah, let's go with let's see what's going on here. And Coward.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, so probably looking at he's probably looking at like anyone else. Coward, best player available. Um, I think I really like this pick for them. If for nothing else, I feel like Frankfurt needs a player who could contribute right away, and I do see that in Coward. He's a bit of an older player, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Um, Probably like 23, at least 23.
No, 21.8.
Really?
Yeah.
He's oh, okay.
So, I mean, much because most of these guys are like 18. So
Okay.
definitely like 3 years,
Okay, I
maybe
thought he was a little
older.
older than that, but okay. Maybe I'm thinking about Nick Clifford actually. Um, okay, but he's 21. Okay, he's projects what to be kind of more like a 3 and D kind of guy.
Yeah, they've got him down for catch and shoot threat, athleticism, off-ball defense, ridiculous upside, 7'2" wingspan, right? So that's yeah, I think 3 and D is like pretty, right? Prototypical
Mhm.
size for a perimeter
So
player.
right, so he's 21, so it means he was probably a senior,
Yep.
graduating senior. So yeah, he's I'm guessing a 4-year player. I don't know if he's transferred from anywhere else before playing in
He did.
Washington State.
He was playing D3 for 2 years at Eastern
Oh wow.
Washington.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that.
Right. So
Love that.
he's
Yeah. So he's making strides in his basketball development and to the point where now he's a draft pick. A lottery pick in the NBA. I mean, I think that is going to speak volumes. And that's probably the type of player, like you said, Memphis moved up in the draft to get him. Um, if he can join this squad and like, be a contributor, because I think Frankfurt also had some players who dealt with some health issues too, and also and always needed kind of like to take the next man up approach. Uh, they're definitely going to need that in Memphis, and I think if he steps into a solid role, he'll be a very valuable pick for the 17ers here.
yep.
I'm giving this pick probably I'll give it an A.
Yeah, I'm giving it an A. I'm like I'm high on Coward. The more I kind of like digged in, I just love his story. He had committed to Duke too. But
Oh,
and
really?
then he had the shoulder injury in November. Um, which is why we didn't get to see as much. But yeah.
Okay. What Steve Blake Express is back on the board. They took VJ Edgecombe last time. Um, we love that pick. What do you what do
I,
you
th-
think should happen here with
I think I
Steve Lakers
think
first?
I think this is the spot to choose Derek Queen, right? He loves his centers. Derek Queen.
Is Derek Queen the center?
I mean, he's a big, right? Like his main attributes are interior scoring and rebounding and a crafty finisher.
I like his
And
passing.
his
I like
his
I think he's a good passer.
his rebound was he was averaging 9 a game, close to 20% rebound rate. True shooting was like close to 60%. Averaged a block and steal a game.
Mm.
Um, like
Is that is that like stocks or he averaged both a steal and a block per game?
both a steal. So 1.1 steal, 1.1
Oh,
block. So I mean,
okay.
this is like even perfect fit for
For
Steve
Steve
Blake.
Blake. I agree.
Um, yeah, and yeah, it's funny you said his passing, right? Like the player comps is DeMontis, Sabonis. I mean,
Mm.
that might be a little bit of a reach.
So this is the guy who we talked about comps earlier. You mentioned Kyle Anderson for someone. I think Derek Queen, not that they're like Kyle Anderson is not a low post scorer or anything like that, but I in terms of the playmaking, um I that's who I thought about when I look at Derek Queen's
I
playmaking.
I think you'll like the other name that they have, which is Boris Diaw.
Oh, love
Right,
that.
right, Boris
Boris
Diaw.
Diaw, that is
Right,
perfect.
that's a sneaky one, right?
Boris Diaw, that is
Which is
almost
pretty good,
perfect.
right?
I
Right,
love that.
right,
Yeah.
right. I was
That's
like,
perfect. Yeah.
because
I love that one.
Boris playmaking is really good.
Yeah, I love that one. Boris Diaw was really that's a
Hmm.
I yeah, I'm yeah, the more you say that the more I think about it, I'm like, yeah,
And he's
did I
got
think
the
about
low
that?
post, right? So it's like
Yeah.
perfect.
No,
If he could become
he's
Boris, like,
if he can be Boris,
yeah,
that's good. Now, yeah, I think there's probably some questions about whether he'll actually become a that type of shooter, but he's skilled, man. He's very skilled. So I don't see why he couldn't spend the time to become that. Now he is in New Orleans, and I would be surprised if they didn't try to develop that skill more, to see if he can get on the floor with Zion. Um, and whoever their big is at this point. I don't know. But yeah, Derek Queen is I probably would have picked Derek Queen as high as 8. I know he's hurt. He's another guy who got hurt, right?
I think that's right.
Yeah, I think he's gonna be out for like 3 weeks or something like that. Um,
Yeah,
to start the season.
yeah. I mean, in rookie drafts, yeah, I've seen him go as early as 7 in one league.
Okay.
Um, so it's been around the map. He fell in Granger to 16, so that's been the biggest drop. But he's his ADP is right around 10th player coming off the board.
Well, all this talk about Derek Queen. Let's see who Steve Blake has actually picked.
Oh,
Nee Clifford.
Clifford.
Um, so I'm pretty sure this is the guy who's probably like a older player, like more like grad student type age. Um, and
I wasn't ready for Clifford. I mean,
yeah, where did he go in the real draft?
I'm looking up the pick. I got him. Clifford. He went to uh
Oklahoma. Oh no, he went to
Oklahoma. No,
he got
He got
traded to
traded.
Sacramento. Yeah, he got traded to
Yeah.
Sacramento. 24th pick. So Steve Blake Express really likes Nee Clifford, and I mean his stat line is crazy, like 18, like almost 19 points, 10 rebounds, 4.4 assists, 1.2 steals, and um almost zero point 0.6 blocks per game, shooting 50% from the field, 37 point from three, and shot it decently from the line, 77%. I, I mean, he that stat line to me sounds like could be the steal of the draft right there. But he is 23, so it also explains why he might have dropped in the draft too.
Yeah, he's 23, and then I don't know if I like the team with the Kings too. So,
Mm,
right, that's another tough thing. If it was going to one of these teams which aren't gonna try to compete, that'd be something different. But maybe the Kings
hmm.
clear house, right? Like who knows? Um,
Yeah, and what's his position?
so they have him as a wing.
Okay.
His height is 6'5", his wingspan is 6'8". So
So he's yeah,
they say a mature, well-rounded wing with ideal physical frame for a modern NBA.
so he's like he's competing with like Keon Ellis and maybe guys like Keegan Murray and whatever, right? For playing time.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, yeah. I mean,
Well,
spoiler alert, I'm not a big fan of this pick. Um,
okay. Hmm.
I
I
would,
like the numbers I see. Um,
yeah,
look that looks great, but and with two picks, maybe this is more of like a home run type pick for Steve Blake Express. It's like, hey, the guy's going to contribute right away. Um, it is Sacramento. Sacramento probably is not going to be good this year, so this guy could get a lot of playing time, potentially.
yeah, that's one train of thought. What do you
What's
grade the
your
pick?
um? Honestly, like I said, I still seeing like Derek Queen on the board and guys that I thought about more. Like I would have thought like maybe a Joanne Berringer would have been a pick for Steve Blake Express, given kind of his like Rudy Gobert type
Okay.
um capacity. So I don't know. I don't hate it, but also don't love it. I give it probably like a C. What about you?
Yeah, this is kind of in the D range for me. Um,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, I'm struggling with
Meh,
it.
kind of meh.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah,
Fair enough. Fair enough.
like I don't even know that the upside is there is my issue. Um, so I don't know. I don't know if I choose. Yeah, I'm not choosing
Yeah.
this older player.
Feels like we could have gotten him off the waivers, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. That's fair. I think that's fair critique. Um, let's go to New York. New York is also joining us as cap strap team. Um, team that needs a rookie badly to add into their to take up a cheap slot on their team. Um, young players. Montez Buzelis was traded for this offseason. Grady Dick as well. And late season addition off the wire, Jalen Wells. So they've got a few. Kason Wallace is still there, but we I like him. $21. I don't know. I don't know if I'm investing that much at this point. But
I mean, Simon's at 39 might be a little bit much unless you have some indication that he's going to get the minutes, and
oh, I mean, he's in Boston. He should be able to get the minutes for
that's
sure.
true. That's true.
Um, Booker at 113, Hart at 41. Um, Isaiah Hartenstein, I think is okay at 28. Um,
So
Okongwu, 44. I don't know. There, there's there's some stuff to do here, but what do you think this team actually needs right now from this draft?
I think they're pretty well balanced. I think this is a team that should be going best value.
Hmm.
Um, I don't see say a hole at guard or forward or center, right? Like they've got a pretty good distribution across the board.
Yeah, yeah. Who would you go here?
The player we've been talking about for a while now, I would go
Is it Mr.
McLean.
Queen? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree. Let's see what's going on. Ooh, Walter Clayton Jr. I told you I like Walter Clayton Jr. I'm not mad at that at all. I like this pick here, but um yeah,
I mean,
what do you
I mean, if you're
yeah.
looking for upside, right? Like was he the college player of the year or close to it? Or like in the running?
Um
Can't remember.
I think he was in the running, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm, okay, but I mean, he just won a championship, right? So I think that's got to count for something. And he's a defensive minded, right, like player. So I mean, guards tend to translate quicker. And if he's definitely got that work ethic and been around winning basketball, like that's an important consideration. Um, before I had even done any sort of research, like he was pretty high on my
Oh,
draft
okay.
board.
Okay. Actually, I have an edit to make. Um, so this is my mistake. So we talked about Steve Lake Express going because at this point I'm like, wait, there's got to be something wrong here.
Yeah, Clifford
Um,
seemed a little bit of a
yeah, his 13th pick
is it
is
Queen?
actually Derek Queen.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, yeah,
okay. That
yeah.
all right.
That yeah, that now that makes complete sense to me because I'm like, there's no way he passed on Derek. I mean, so many people have already passed on him, but um, yeah, that doesn't make any sense because I'm like, why would yeah, that now I'm like, all right, there's definitely something wrong here.
All right, cool, cool.
Um,
Okay, so Derek Queen is not available.
Derek Queen
Um,
is not available.
so if I was NYK, I would have just I would have taken Sorber. I would have taken Sorber or just got spicy and chosen Yang Hansen because
Oh,
he was looking good, man, in summer league, man. He seemed like a fun player. Noah Sengue is another player I would kind of consider. Um,
the dude who got
who got dunked on? Yeah,
who got posterized and
but
nah man.
he's playing on Chicago, man. Um, Chicago's got that position wide open. Um, is also right the Miami guard. Um, but I mean, I don't not, I right, like Walter Clayton, right? He's kind of in that ballpark. So yeah, I mean, decent pick.
Yeah, it felt like it felt like what just happened with the Queen thing was like, when at the draft when they get picked and they come
Switch
out
that.
and they have to switch hats but they don't switch hats, they still take the pictures in the hat that they got drafted to. Yeah, that's we're gonna say that's kind of what happened there. Yeah. Uh, like I said, I like Walter Clayton, um, given the fact that especially Queen not being available anymore.
Hmm.
What so going back to the pick, we what are we grading Steve Blake's pick
So
now?
Steve Blake an A, NYK a B plus. I think it's a strong pick. I mean,
Yeah.
he couldn't have gone too many bad places in my opinion, right? We're at a place where it's more of a dice roll. Um,
Yeah, I think you picked the highest upside guy that you feel like, I think I agree at that point. Walter Clayton Jr. would have been a really good one. And then you look at his potential for, is he going to, what's his potential as far as like, um, is he going to play over, what do you call him, Collier?
yeah,
Um, you know,
yeah. I mean, that's gonna be the biggest mystery, right?
um, who else is there guard wise?
Mm, we were just talking about this guy, the Jacker, um,
Oh, Keontae George
Keontae,
is
yeah.
there. Keontae George is there.
But I mean, they don't have the other guard that we were talking about earlier. He's on the Hornets now. Um, this guy's name, I can see his face right now. Sexton, right? Sexton is no longer there, right? So that helps.
Oh yeah, Sexton's gone. That's true.
So there's a path.
Okay. Um, so did you give you gave him give Clayton a B?
Yeah, I gave Clayton a B. Um, a B plus, a B plus. I give him a B
Yeah,
plus.
that's what I was gonna say. I'm rocking with a B plus. It's I like him. I like
Mhm.
this guy. I like this guy. Um, all right. We're gearing up to our last two teams. Um, I am up on the block. Great Danes.
Oh, we know you've kind
You,
of already previewed who you're going to be picking here. You're
you
going.
tell me, but you've
So
checked out.
it's only
Yeah.
between two players, right? It's going to be either Yang Hansen or Sorber. But you mentioned, wanting to get Thomas Sorber on a previous episode.
Hmm.
Georgetown Center, um, and really
Yep.
just I don't know. I think people are going to regret passing up on him. It sucks that he's going to be out for a year, but
Patrick.
you don't need a player.
Yeah, with 2021, I'm sorry, at that year, that's the kind of the problem, right? Like with Sorber is like not being I can't you can't redshirt someone who's not gonna be there for a whole year. Like if this is
Hmm.
like some of our other leagues where we have a G League, and I can stash him out off of my roster, my active roster, then I like that more. But um, just thinking a little bit more about the thought process there, I feel like I just had to take, someone who was maybe gonna play.
So you went with Yang.
I if I Yeah, I went with Yang. I went with Yang. That's who the Great Danes are bringing into town.
Man,
We're going straight to China. We're
you
trying
all in
to
on China, man. You're trying to expand the
listen.
game.
We're trying to get into the global market. We want all the Chinese fans to be screaming Great Danes. We want them locked in. We want the whole experience, man. We're all in. We want them in Gotham buying tickets and buying jerseys and voting him in for the All-Star game. We want to see that. Um, but yeah, no, I would have gone definitely gone over here. I thought I was gonna actually end up with Walter Clayton Jr. But didn't work out. Um, yeah, we're happy. What did you think about Mr. Hansen?
He was fun. He looked pretty good. He had pretty good feel. His passing and playmaking looked really good on display during summer league. Um, did have some concerns, right? NBA speed and all that other stuff, right? How does it look like?
Yeah.
He wasn't the fastest player, but right, he's a rookie, right? And so, you kind of just wait and watch and see
How do you
what
know
it
how old
looks
he
like.
is?
Yang Hansen. Give me 1 second. If I had to guess, I would guess like, mm, oh, right on the money. 20.
20 years old.
And his
Um,
wingspan is 7'2". And he's got, yeah, they have packaged in an immensely large frame, post presence. I don't really. His player comps is Luke Cornett,
which I like. I love Luke Cornett.
Alperen Sengun.
Oh, hey, hey, all-star.
Yeah, right. So I mean, yeah,
I'm excited by that.
right. There's some excitement
Yeah.
there.
I mean, let's keep it a buck, man. Hanson's probably going to be on the waiver wire the minute we start the season,
It's
but
nice to
you
have known
know,
he started
yeah, it's nice to
his
know.
journey.
I like for it to be on record that I drafted this guy in the rookie draft, and hopefully he becomes something. I don't know if he's gonna play a single minute in the Great Danes uniform, but we'll see how preseason goes. We'll see what Chauncey Billups has in mind for Mr. Hansen, and then I'll see if he's worth a roster spot. All right, we're up to. Oh, what's your grade for this pick?
B, B,
All right, good. That's fair.
B.
I'm going with the B as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Wasn't
The
my first pick
challenges,
there, but
yeah, the challenges, right? Like he might not even get the opportunity to kind of really see what
he
he could
may
be.
not play in the NBA either.
That
That's
too.
that's the reality of it. He's currently behind on the depth chart, probably behind Klingon and um who else they have there? Robert Williams. I mean, if he's healthy, he's probably going to start, right, for
Robert
that team.
Williams.
That's a big if for Robert Williams, unfortunately. But
Yeah, yeah.
um, but yeah.
Before
All right, cool. Let's take it on over to Rucker Park. Who, oh man, they have like every exciting big you can think of, besides Wemby, who they just traded to get, I mean, everything that
yeah,
Speedsters had and more. Um, yeah, they're way over the roster limit. I'm curious if this player that is picked here will even have a chance to make it to the like keeper roster or not. Um,
hmm
this almost feels like an inconsequential pick, but what would you do here if you were Orca Park?
I would choose Sorber. I would just get somebody who's got probably maybe the highest upside, but you don't necessarily need now, or maybe you can try to use them in trade negotiations but I don't know. I mean, this pick doesn't matter much if I'm being honest.
It doesn't. Um, but yeah, I mean it's a pick you I don't see them taking like a player that can't do anything for them at all. I think they've got championship aspirations this season, especially with the moves to. I mean, you're bringing in Cade, Evan Mobley, Chet Holmgren back on back to the Busters. You also have Carl Anthony Towns sitting in there. You're most likely looking at championship aspirations there. OG Anunoby's on the roster. Um, whoever you pick here is really just like, hey, we just need to keep our salary low, around the edges. So, um, who do you think is the best player available right now? Sorber, and then if not him, who
Next, I would go Kasparas.
is oh, dude from the Heat that got drafted to the
Yeah,
Heat, right?
yeah, from the Heat.
Right. Let's
Um,
see what the pick is. And there you have it. It is Kasparas Giacchinonis.
yeah,
Don't kill me, but I
nah,
didn't hear the pronunciation of his name.
I had it.
Um, no disrespect to him, and his name, but yes, that was the pick. Um, I you want to hear something interesting about this guy? I This is who I felt the Nets should have picked at 8 if they
Oh,
were gonna pick
really?
if they were gonna pick Igor. Um, for me, I feel like he is a better version of whatever Igor does.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm mixing up their games or don't have
No,
it quite right, but
no, he's an orchestrator too. Um,
I mean I could be totally off base here, but I mean I feel like this is guy was is the pick.
mm,
That yeah, this would have been a nice for. In fact, I felt like at some when was the Nets other picks?
like the middle of the round.
Oh,
Like,
okay, so maybe they wouldn't have been able to get him anyway. But
yeah, and then there was like talks, right, that OKC would have taken him, right, because Igor was pretty high on their list. Um,
okay, so what do you think of this pick? What do you like about Kasparas?
the playmaker, right? He's one of the top playmakers within the draft. Um, he's got a pretty good wingspan at 6'8" for a guard. Can shoot the ball now, right? He's at like 32% on close to 5 attempts. And it's heat culture. It's
Hmm.
heat culture, right?
Good old
Like,
heat, good old
right.
good old good old heat culture.
Right. Heat develops, lesser players. So I just feel like the upside is there if this guy is ready to work, which I'm pretty sure he is.
Yeah, I think the knock on him though is that he's not like his playmaking is and his defense are not very strong, right? So that might limit him as far as whether Spoelstra is going to give him a lot of opportunity. But if his shooting pans out, then that's something they definitely need, right?
Yeah, I mean, no, I mean they claim he's a fantastic passer. Like I mean, he did average 6.2 assists,
Yeah,
which is
the playmaking is one thing, but I feel like they need the shooting more than anything, right? They
yeah.
lost what's
He
my guy's name? Not he Duncan Robinson. Not that he was like
well,
killing it out there anyway, but Duncan
Donovan
Robinson's not there anymore.
Donovan Mitchell looked good.
Oh,
Um,
Damian Mitchell.
Damian, yeah, thank you. I said Donovan.
But he's not really a shooter either.
but he's been shooting it better as a Heat for what it's worth. I should look up those numbers. This is me just like handful of games, and I'm seeing him knock down a lot of threes.
Yeah,
Um,
he played a good role for them in the playoffs, or at least making it to like within playoffs or playing. I can't remember, but he had a couple of key games for them. Uh, More on the defensive end, but knocking down shots though. He definitely was knocking down shots. Put up a couple of good offensive games for them.
yeah,
Anyway, we'll see. This guy's most likely going to spend time in the G League. And probably won't be on Brock Park's roster at all. So, like you said, this pick probably doesn't matter at all.
yeah. I mean,
We'll see.
gives us
We'll
a few.
talk. All right. Well, that's the draft board. That's the draft board. I have a strong feeling that mm, we usually see a pretty big drop off as far as like guys that end up on the waiver wire um from the rookie draft, but I have a good feeling that mm, probably over 50% of them will remain on the roster
Hmm.
by midseason. Still be on the roster.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I really like this rookie class, but I mean, it also could be that I spent, more time than say previous as far as like researching them or being involved in drafts or just conversation or discussion around them. Um, so can't wait to see them in the preseason. That's usually the time when I really get to kind of give an early evaluation because that's, no kidding, like NBA minutes.
Yeah, can't wait to be able to overreact to preseason minutes and preseason games. But yeah, that's all we have for tonight. So hope everyone is happy with their pick. And yeah, let us know what your thoughts were on this on our feedback. Until next time, I still need to post the top four teams recap from last year, but um, you know, pretty much once this is released, everyone will know their pick, and then we're gearing up to the keeper deadline, which I believe happens soon, maybe next weekend, actually.
Okay, I need to get my
Yeah,
my
so
keepers together.
yeah, and we got trade moratorium coming right after keeper deadline. So yeah, people let's hit up the new owner, the new franchise, Salt Lake City Soakers, see if there's any moves to be made there. And yeah, I think that's a wrap. Good talking to you, man. Great insights tonight.
Likewise, man. Always good to talk about the young flock of new players and some of the directions we see some of these teams going in the association.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it looks like we've been going a good like 2 hours, man. So
Yeah,
yeah,
no.
we'll wrap this up, man. So yeah, man, have a good night.
All
Get
right,
some
man. You
sleep.
too.
All right, bro.
Much appreciated. Yeah,
Peace.
peace.